Introducing T.I.P.S, training in personal safety, your power, your right. Are you truly prepared to protect yourself, your family, and your home? T.I.P.S is here to change the game. T.I.P.S is a powerful, life-saving program that equips you with real-world skills to handle danger, prevent threats, and stay one step ahead of harm at home, work, school, or on the streets. What you'll learn: street smarts and situational awareness, home safety and self-defense basics, child, women and elderly protection strategies, emergency reaction and de-escalation tactics, digital and online safety tips, organization, school, or private home. We bring professional T.I.P.S sessions straight to your doorstep. Don't wait until it's too late. Book your session today. Save a life. Call, WhatsApp, T.I.P.S +1 868 397 5961.
Well, good night to everyone. Here we are again, another Saturday night, to talk about T.I.P.S, T.I.P.S training in personal safety. And I'm excited tonight. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm extremely guest in the person of Casey Ann Brown. And she is going to bring it really, really powerful tonight. She's going to be discussing a very sensitive topic. Is a word that we have all become familiar with within recent years, narcissism. And she's going to tonight on a professional basis. She's going to deal with for us to understand what it's all about. All right, behavior and all the little intricacies of that, which a lot of us just talk about. We mention this word, but we don't understand the dynamics of it from a medical standpoint, and she's quite a professional in that area, so we look forward to that. We welcome Jan. Jan Burrows, my good buddy for many years. His name is getting old. I apologize for being here with us. Excuse me, the brain is getting, seniority is kicking in sometimes, but that's all right. And who else we have on the, we have Jacet. Thank you for joining us. And all those listeners that, always listen to us on the radio station. We are broadcasting tonight on more radio stations than last week. So we're actually doing the full 16 channels tonight. So 16 radio stations we're broadcasting on, and they are here to listen to Casey Ann. So Casey Ann, without any further ado, I'll recline and you will come forward and you do your thing. Educate us on this particular subject.
Educate our people, right? To give them enough information so that they can operate with accountability in this world. So this is great. And again, just thank you for this opportunity of speaking with everyone. So the topic today is understanding narcissism, right? So it's even a very hard word to pronounce in itself, but narcissism and understanding exactly what that is. So my hope and my goal is to be able to give the information in as simple form as possible so that we can walk away with key points to be able to help our lives. So as we think I'm having, but let's see if I can. All right. So what we're going to discuss is exactly what it is, the characteristics and healing and work to experience anything of such, right? So this leads to really, what is narcissism? What exactly is narcissism? Need for admiration. And it exists on many platforms. So the fact of the matter is we all have a bit of this trait within us, right? But what happens is when it becomes and it consumes a human being to the point where that's what they look, and it consumes a human being to the point where that's what they look for. They look for the fact that they are the center of it all. They look for that that personal focus, where everyone focuses on them. They look for that behavior, in that behavior where they feel as though they're better than everyone, right? And so narcissism has two components. One, where you can have the trait, and the other where it's actually a disease. And we'll go further into that. So while everyone may have narcissistic behavior, once in a while, a true narcissist often disregard others or their feelings and only want people to focus on them. And they don't even understand the effect their behaviors have on others. It's all about them. It's their world. It's what they believe, what they say. Everything goes in, it must be in their timing, what they want, and no one else matters. Those are true characteristics of a narcissist. Again, it says it's a grandiose self-importance, a preoccupation of fantasies and success and power that doesn't even exist, right? Sometimes we can be narcissistic in the way that we look. We feel that we're more beautiful than anyone else. I mean, there's no one on this planet that's as beautiful or good looking as we are, even as handsome as we are. We believe that we are special, but not special in a good special, but special because I am better than you. I'm better than they. I'm better than him. I'm better than her. They require excess. When I say excess admiration, so sometimes you may have an accomplishment and you may share that with someone. And, you know, when you're sharing it with them, the difference between a person that is not a narcissist and a narcissistic person is that a narcissistic person talks about themselves, and you must give them that glory. You must put them on that pedestal. If you don't, then they're angry with you. But a person that is not narcissistic and they share information with you, they may just share that. And if you don't give them that admiration, it's fine. They move on. But a narcissist will just sit there and they expect that you give them what that feeding of grandiose feeling. And if you don't do that, then you are the problem, not them. They lack empathy. They're so disconnected with empathy, right? Explosive. They are the one that controls relationship. They're arrogant, haughty behaviors, and excessive need to impress others or feel important. Again, that word important. They must feel important wherever they are. Otherwise, the problem isn't them, it's the other person or the other community. So traits or disorders, right? So I feel say my love language say my love language is uh, uh to give me praise, admiration. Give me praise, admiration, right? Look for that because that's what drives us. That's normal. That's mother. That is your way of receiving love and expressing love. Now, with a narcissistic person, a person that is diagnosed as a narcissistic personality disorder, or also known as NPD, it is far beyond that. It is where they must receive they must receive that grandiose feeling. You must feed them with thing that is great, to that they're better than. You must tell them that they're better than. Otherwise, they reflect and get into a state of depression. So again, you know, narcissistic traits is not something that is uncommon in the regular person. Every one of us might have some form of it, but it becomes an issue when it is now a disease process, when your world is surrounded by that. And so when you become an NPD, you have to be diagnosed by a mental DSM, and I'm going to talk more about that. There's criteria within this manual that determines that this person has a narcissistic disease. So with NPD, your symptoms make it harder or impossible to have satisfying relationships because no one can go around and feed you what you feel that you need on a regular basis. It is not sustainable. NPD also recognize that it is not just a simple disease process, but it's a pattern of behavior that comes with that. And that, as mentioned before, coexists with depression and anxiety, right? So those are the two common mental disorder that narcissistic behavior or narcissistic disease follows when you have depression and when you have anxiety. So think about it. If I'm in a crowd or I'm amongst a community and I am not being fed the way that I need to be fed, I'm not being told that I am better than everyone. I'm not being told that I am the most important person in that space at that moment. I'm going to become depressed. And another form of showing that I am I'm uneased is anxiety, right? Because you're getting anxious because you know what? Something is wrong. People are not seeing who I am. So that's when those are the two mental disorders that typically follows NPD. So the NPD criterias, right? So NPD is a diagnostic, I'm sorry, DSM-5 is a diagnostic and statistical manual that is used by mental health professionals that diagnose over 298 conditions, and narcissism is one of them. And what this manual does, it provides clear, highly detailed definition of what that mental disorder does. It also provide that for others, as I mentioned before, but it gives you detail characteristic of a narcissistic person. And then once you have fulfilled those characteristics, then you become a narcissism. Now, there isn't any true treatment for NPD. None. Okay, there's nothing that really can treat that person. What they do is you'll find that mental health professional will treat the other disease factors that is fluid, that NPD. But I just want that to be clear. There is no true treatment for that for narcissistic disease. So let's look at relationship with the narcissist. How to identify a partner, narcissistic partner, right? So some of the things that you'll look at, you'll find that they were charming and they expect you to make them feel a certain way. They'll pretend like they're charming to you, and you have to fuel them to make you for them to be that charming person. They will control the relationship. They're overly jealous. They're always hurt. You're always doing something to harm them. You're never good enough. As the partner that is not the narcissistic person in the relationship, the narcissists make you feel like you're never enough. They feel that your actions are not up to par to them. They're very dramatic. They seek your attention. It's a state of unease. No matter what you do, they will never feel fulfilled, and it's never good enough. It's never them. It's always the other person in the relationship. Early signs of red flags for a narcissistic relationship. They love bomb you, right? Early in the relationship. So you meet someone and you're just starting that dating phase. You'll feel that they are quick to say they love you, and they want to put that on you because they want you now in turn to feed them what they need, that grandiose feeling, the feeling of importance. They do a lot of gaslighting, which manipulate the reality of things because they want you to feel as though they got everything under control. They're very jealous, right? And then blaming. They feel that all failures are not them. It's always the opposite person. And they lack accountability. Take accountability for nothing. It's always the fact that they take the information and they twist it and they make it seem as though it's you. You're the problem. It's not them. This wasn't because of me. Well, yes, this happened to me because you didn't do something. It's always the other person. It's never them. No accountability. And they constantly need validation, as I said before. Always need validation. So you always fuel that person. That person has to be fueled. Otherwise, you'll never find peace. You're in a relationship with a narcissistic person, you will never find peace if you're not giving them what they need. Does everyone has a narcissistic trait? as I mentioned before, yes, to a healthy extent, right? So the traits, confidence, or ambition become harmful when excess and unempathetic. So the trait can stem into narcissism, disease. If it becomes to the point where you have exemplify characteristics of unempathetic behavior, and you're destructive. Those are things that will definitely lead